Hey guys, this is Rosa Kelly. Welcome back to the channel, and today number 3 of the 12 days of Christmas. We are going to get started with the selection that we're going to be working on. So as you know, this series is a giveaway, so make sure that you are leaving a comment, be sure that you are subscribed, and also make sure to go visit my friend Debbie and see what project she has for you today. So I'm gonna get right into selecting a prompt from the jar here. So I'm gonna take this one, but I'm gonna put this one back, and we have snowflake. Okay, so that's gonna be a fun little challenge here. So I'm going to go ahead and find snowflake. Okay, good, we're still in good track to get a line. Let's see what we can create using the snowflake prompt. Okay, so I think I have finally come out with an idea for this project. So I found this snowflake fabric on my stash here, and I think it will be like a really pretty, kind of like a TN cover, like a traveler's notebook, or just kind of like a little notepad to take with you everywhere, and maybe do some journaling, maybe do a Christmas list or whatnot. And for that, I'm gonna be using some cardboard. So this is a cereal box, which is not too thick, which will be really nice for the cover and bendable and all of that. And then for pages, I don't have any journaling paper right now, or tea-dye paper that I usually like to put on my journals or notebooks, but I found this really pretty paper collection. This one is called Christmas Vibes by Ciao Bella, and so this is the 8x8 collection here, and so I think the colors will look really pretty with the color of the fabric, even though there's no snowflakes on the collection, but I really don't have much with snowflakes. But yeah, so I think this will be really fun to put together, and hopefully quick and easy project. I'm going to start by just cutting the box. So I went ahead and opened these, and I'm just gonna make this project really easy. I'm not gonna be too worried about cutting perfectly or anything like that. Also, I just realized that I ran out of my fabric glue, so you probably need some fabric glue if you are adding fabric, you know, so it's a lot stronger. So I don't have that. And also you could use your sewing machine, that's also an option. But I'm trying to make this project simple, so I'm just gonna use my regular glue and hope that it works. So I'm gonna actually cut this, because I need to measure this to be about 8.5. So let me just cut an edge here. So I'm gonna do 8.5 by 8. Okay, so 8.5, and basically this will be maybe 7 3/4, because I'm just doing the size of the box, so it will be smaller than a regular TN. But again, it's just gonna be, we're just gonna use what we have. So my paper will be a little bit bigger. That's what it needs to be. So maybe I'm just gonna reduce the size of my paper also to 7 3/4 here, so they're all the same. And I'm using 8x8 paper, so we don't really have to cut too much. We're just basically gonna fold these in half. Okay, so for this one I might just take some from the top. Okay, so I'm just making everything at 7 3/4 by 8. for this ones. Okay, but this piece here is gonna be 7 3/4 by 8.5, and I am just simply going to fold these here. Okay, so we're just gonna fold. Okay, so I am just gonna fold, and I'm gonna do a soft fold. Okay, and so basically this is gonna be the cover. So super simple. And now I'm just going to wrap these or glue the fabric on top. Okay, so let's put this to the side. And I love doing these type of projects because they're always so simple, so fast to make. This could make a really quick gift idea. Also, I kind of want this snowflake to be, just picture this folded in half, and this is what you'll see. So I want to be able to see more of that snowflake, so maybe like this. Okay, alrighty, so that is kind of where I want it, and I'm just gonna cut the extra fabric. So I'm just gonna cut this here. There, and then let me take this out here. You only want just a small area on the top, and then small area here. Okay, so we're just gonna go like that. Alrighty, and then we'll save these. Okay, so now I'm just going to go ahead and glue these down right here. Now when you use fabric, make sure that your fabric is not too thin, and always do a little test with the glue so your fabric won't get smudged, or your glue won't stain your fabric. Sometimes that happens too. Okay, so I'm just gonna do a little bit of glue everywhere, and again, I don't have fabric glue, so we're just gonna have to hope these works. Okay, so we're just gonna go like that. Okay, and then let me see the front, and there we go. And now I'm just going to glue all the sides. Well, it looks like it's going to hold, so that's good. I've never used this glue for actual fabric, so it looks like it's going to work. Alright, so we're gonna go like that, and then for the corners I do like to fold these, and when I fold I do like putting glue on all, like the layers. So I fold once, I put glue. I want to put glue under here, under there. Okay, so that's gonna be that side, and then we're gonna do the same here. So we're gonna put glue, and then we're gonna put glue here when we fold these right there. Okay, I'm just gonna hold that, and now we are going to just put more glue here and fold. Okay, and then just press down. And if you have paper clips, you might want to clip these here to kind of hold it together while it dries, so that way it's nice and strong. But I'm just gonna hold it. Go, and then we're gonna do the same. So you see how easy this already is coming together. Okay, so I'm gonna add glue here and fold it. gonna add all the glue right here, and I'm gonna fold this and then add glue, press down, and here. Okay, so that is basically our cover pretty much done, and I'm just gonna let this dry here for a minute, and on the meantime we're gonna grab our cardstock and we are going to fold. I do want a piece to glue on the inside, so I might use this here to glue it. So I might need to cut this a little bit smaller. Okay. And yeah, I'm gonna leave the pages the way they are, but this one I'm gonna cut a little bit smaller. But basically we're just gonna fold this in half to make the pages for the book, for the journal. And again, it will be good if you use just some white paper if you want to use this as have some place to take notes, to write. And I think what I'm gonna do with this is just kind of collage things on top of the pages. It could be like a little album to, maybe like a little scrapbook type of book. And there we go. Okay, and then once I have all of these, we're just gonna make one big signature page. So they're all gonna go one on top, and then this one I might fold this way, so I have that at the center. Another thing I want to do is distress, maybe. So I'm just gonna wrap the edges.
Lines are busting out the door, Christmas songs in every store. Can't stand to hear one more, please won't you make it stop. Snow is piled 5 feet high, dog ate the pecan pie. Hurry up, snowball is fine, Christmas time again. They say it's so pretty, that time in New York City. I say cold and gritty, packed in like sardines.
Okay, so all of these pages are distressed, and now I'm just going to cut this a little bit more so it's not coming out. Okay, so I'm just gonna take some from the top, maybe cut this to 7.5. Okay, and then that can go right there like that, and we will have like a little bit more green. We can always put it more to the side and then add something else here, but I think I'm just gonna leave it center. That'll be a lot easier this way. Okay, so I'm going to fold these in half so we can get that bending line right there, and then we're just gonna make this match the bending line here. Okay, so there we go. Or you could always glue it and then fold it after. Okay, but I'm just gonna add my glue now. Okay, glue here. I'm gonna add more glue down here, and also especially the edges. Okay, and then we're just gonna glue this down. I'm just going to do the other side. Okay, so I'm glad to see that this glue works really good on fabric too. Okay, so we're just going to press down. So now again, as an optional step, you can stitch all around this, so that'll make it really strong, and also it will add a really nice edge to this. Okay, so we're just gonna press down and wait for this to dry. Get a little more glue here. Okay, so we're just gonna press down. Now to add the pages, I'm just gonna do a Midori binding, which is basically kind of like a journaling binding with the holes, and stitch it onto the cover. You could also just use elastic ribbon and just add these here using some elastic, and just gonna go around and add the pages like that. But I'm just gonna go ahead and stitch. So I'm just going to poke 3 holes. I'm gonna use these, and I'm not gonna really measure anything. I'm just gonna go from the center. Careful with your fingers on the back. And then I'm going to kind of find a place between, you know, this here, like another center. And then between these two, I'm gonna just try to find another center right there, just like that. And then I'm going to get my needle and thread. So I'm just gonna use my what do you call this, like a embroidery needle, and I'm gonna use some twine. So I found this eyelash trim, or yarn I guess it would be, and I think this will be really pretty to go with the snowflake cover. So we're just gonna use these, and I'm gonna hold one tail longer than the other, and then we're just gonna start right at the center on the holes that we just made. So we're gonna go center, and then one of the sides, pass that through, and then let's pull this. Make sure it doesn't tangle, because that is not good. Okay, so pull this out. Let's keep a long tail here, and now I'm gonna go up to the other side, and then back on the center where we started. Just gonna get this out. There we go. So I'm just gonna cut, and then we're just gonna tie this at the center, and you want to make sure that these strings are one on each side of this center. So I'm gonna pass this one from under to the other side. Okay, so these both need to be at either side of that center. And now we are just going to make a knot. And there you go. And then if you like, you can have this hanging from the bottom, or you can trim them. And then I like how this looks over here, like the fuzzy trim to go with the snowflake. So cute. I might trim this one here. Okay, there we go. It's cute at the center. I don't want it hanging. But that's it. There you go. So now we have our cute little traveler's notebook. I'm not gonna call this a notebook. This is more like a little Midori style album, since I guess we could use this for a little bit of journaling and add some pictures there. And I like the distress pages here. So these busier pages, we can just simply add pictures or do a little collage. So simple, so easy to make, and so fun. So I'm actually gonna be adding pictures here and just kind of having like a little, like a second December daily in a way. I think it will be really fun. And there you go. So that is going to be the project for today. I hope that you guys enjoy the quick tutorial, and I hope that you come back tomorrow for another project. Make sure to leave a comment, leave a like, and also go visit my friend Debbie, see what project she has for you today. And I want to thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.
Lines are busting out the door. Christmas songs in every store.